It is so good to see you, and it's been a while since we had a video. We've gone on a family vacation, we've had some travel for the past weekend, and we are really excited to get back on the outdoor project of sanding and sealing our concrete countertop. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Detached Garage. Today we are going to get back onto the concrete countertop project. We've kind of put this off for a little while. It was raining right after it happened. I wanted to let it dry out. We've certainly had a lot of rain, but then we've also had a bit of dry as well. So we finally have everything pretty much set and ready to go here, and we are going to get on the concrete countertop. So we are going to use the Milwaukee palm sander, the same one we use to do the inside workout wall. We're going to use the Milwaukee vacuum as well. Z Counterforms is sponsoring this video, and they have sent a bunch of different sanding discs. So we're going to start with the 80 grit. We're going to move to the 120 and then get to the 220. I'm gonna get a spray bottle and we're gonna try wet sanding all of this. I did put a cover on the TV just in case we create some concrete dust, and the yard is still in a bit of shambles, but we do have the plastic that we are gonna put down onto the Serene aluminum cabinetry cabinets, just to kind of protect it from anything falling down. So let's get the camera turned around. We might even start the time lapse, and we will get this masked off, ready to go, get our batteries charged, and get everything set up to start with that 80 grit wet sanding. So we've already used the countertop a few times, and you can even see a drink ring already here, but that's really what this sealer is going to try to take care of, is making sure we don't get any of this. But the main thing I'm really trying to knock out of here are these horizontal lines. So we are gonna get started sanding and try to get all of those horizontal lines out. Obviously the countertop is still pretty smooth, and still has a really nice surface finish. It's just these lines we're gonna try and get out of there, and then make it even potentially a little bit smoother before we do the sealing. So let's start with the 80 grit. We'll kind of break in between each step here and see how each one takes out these lines and does the finish. But here is the before shot with a little bit of grease from the food, a drink ring, and some very clear marks from where we were pouring the concrete and trying to do the finishing and troweling on the concrete. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so we have everything masked off. We've got the batteries hooked up. I've got my spray bottle here. So I just did a little test spot here with the 80 grit. Seems good. It seems like it's gonna take a little while to get this done, but I've got my headphones on. We're gonna spray this water down and try to get the concrete wet to do some wet sanding here and see how that goes, and we get the vacuum turned on, and then we will see how it goes. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so this is where I started. I sprayed the water right here. You can see there's still a little moisture in here, trying to get this out. And I don't know that we're even gonna be able to get these out unless we use like some sort of grinding disc or something like that. So I think the new plan is going to be, you know what, we're just gonna live with it. We're going to live with these lines. It's not a huge deal. It'll actually kind of give it some character, and I can tell a story about how I screwed up and had lines in here. But I think we're going to try not wet sanding the top. We're going to just go with the 80 grit all the way across the top, and then as we get to the other grit levels, then we are going to spray it off. So I'm going to go get the I've switched the first pad. We've basically done here all the way up to over here, but I'm going to start on the corner, or actually I will probably start on that corner since the sun is over here, and kind of work my way this way. And we're just going to basically go and do how you do with like a polishing on a car or something. So we're going to start here. We're going to go this way, and we'll do the 80 grit dry all the way across, and then we will switch the 120, start wet, do the same thing, and then go to the 220. So wish us luck. It's going to take a little while. All right, guys, update here. I've got one pass done on the entire countertop, and then I came back here and started basically just, changing the 80 grit sanding pads quite a lot. And so I've done 2 pads just on this area. You can kind of see the contrast of this versus this over here. I basically just wanted to try getting the lines out, and they are not coming out at all. So I don't know. I'm going to try wet sanding this area here to see how it looks, to see how it turns out. We can always go back to a heavier pad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this down. I'm going to put a new pad on. I'm going to go through it with the 80 grit. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the 120 and then the 220 and just see how this section looks over here to see if, and I'm basically going to go from here where this super dark line is to the edge to see if this will be, I guess, good enough for how we want the rest of the countertop to look. So wish us luck. We're about 45 minutes into sanding this thing, so not terrible, but certainly not fast. All right, guys, so got a pretty good look here of what it would look like if we put the stain down. Just adding the water just absolutely transforms it to, see what it's going to look like if you put the epoxy down. And so you can see, I'm going to just wet this area down right here. So you can see the big difference between this area and where we've worked on is kind of the smaller crosshatch lines. Obviously, we've still got this big line here, a little bit right here, but overall, the smaller crosshatches have disappeared because we've worked this. So I don't want to leave this. I thought it was going to look fine, but I don't like the look of this. So I believe what we're going to do is go get some heavier grit sandpaper or and or go get an angle grinder to try to take this out. So my mission today, I'm gonna go get some heavier grit sanding discs that we can use to just, I think we're starting with 80, might start with a 60 or 50 grit, and just try to really get these big lines out of it. So if I could go back in time, go back and try to get these out when you're pouring the concrete, so you don't have to do so much work afterwards. But not a huge deal. Live and learn. We'll get it done. All right, guys. Well, we gave it a good shot. I even went to the store and picked up this 50 pack of, what is this, 60 grit versus the 80 grit that we were using from the Z Systems. I thought it was going to be better, but there is a clear difference between these, which is commercial grade silicon carbide paper versus just your Home Depot, Diablo Tools 5-inch sanding disc. So the 80 grit was cutting the concrete better because it's obviously built for that. I'm screwed up again and bought 20 bucks worth of stuff that isn't really working very well. I've been going on this pad here for quite a while, and it's still pretty rough. It's just kind of skipping over the concrete versus biting in and actually wearing it down. So I think we're probably gonna have to switch to like an angle grinder to get these lines out here. So I'm gonna cut the episode here. I hope you enjoyed learning from my mistakes on this episode. But yeah, we're gonna get it figured out. We're gonna get some other equipment. I'll try and borrow an angle grinder and actually get like a concrete grinding bit or grinding plate to put in there. So if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions for me on what you think I should do, put that down in the comments below. Probably won't get back to this for another week or so. We'll probably get back in the garage and put the upper cabinets up if we can. As well as start looking at the EV charger, as well as looking at the pressure washer wall. So a lot more to come. Thank you so much for watching. Call me an idiot in the comments below, or tell me what you thought about this episode. Thanks so much for watching Detached Garage.